HeikenAshi method. The vanilla HeikenAshi method is where you will have an entry at the lowest point and you will have a stop loss which is pretty low, so that your chances of a successful trade drastically improves. Now, do I say that this is the secret sauce and you will not have anything else, no other problems? Absolutely not. You will have problems. Your stop loss will get hit. You will have some misleading signals. All this comes with the fact that you are trading a lower time frame, which is 15 minutes. As you shift to a higher time frame, all these problems will stop happening. And you will find that you are able to trade with the larger direction of the trend. Of course, even with trading on a 15-minute time frame, we do have these false signals which we avoid by looking at the longer time frame trend. We'll look at how we do that also, right? And I have some specific set of 4 rules. First thing we do is we look at a HeikenAshi candle on any chart, whether it is a spot chart or a option chart, whatever it is, we only look at HeikenAshi candles. Now, rule number 1 says you will never ever buy when you see a green HeikenAshi candle. Why do I say that? Because when you see a green HeikenAshi candle, the momentum is to the upside. If momentum is to the upside already when you look at the trade, that means price is racing towards a resistance level. You don't want to buy at resistance. You only think in terms of selling at resistance. You will never ever buy against a green HeikenAshi candle. Rule number 2 is you will never sell at a red HeikenAshi candle. You will wait for the red HeikenAshi candle to complete its run, then enter a reversal trade. Now, these are 2 rules regarding what you will do when you see these candles. The other set of 2 rules are very, very simplistic. If you are a futures or a stock trader, you will be able to short as well as go long. So what you would do is you will sell against a low of a green HeikenAshi candle. The moment the low of a green HeikenAshi candle is breached, you will take a trade on the downside. Like for instance here, this low of this candle was broken and we take the trade. And the converse of this rule is I will only buy above the high of a red HeikenAshi candle. Okay, I'm making it too simplistic. Okay, I'm going to clarify this rule and modify it as we go along. But for the sake of understanding, let me start with this simplistic rule. I say that we will buy above the high of a red HeikenAshi candle. Okay, you can see for yourself in any kind of backtest situation, you will find how very decently it has captured a big part of the trend for you. It's quite possible that you also make a mistake sometimes. You enter a trade when you're not supposed to enter. Like if the price is between support and resistance, you don't try to enter a trade, right? Because if you have an immediate resistance overhead, you don't want to have a very bad risk-reward ratio. So you would tend to avoid those trades. That is one way of avoiding false signals. The other way of avoiding false signal is that you will look at a larger time frame trend and after that you will enter your trades. I would avoid signals in between. A buy signal here I will definitely avoid. Sell signal I may take because it's closer to resistance than to support. I have a decent risk reward ratio. The long and short of it is like, this is the system. You will only buy against a red HeikenAshi candle high. Now let me tell you what is the modification I need to talk about. When I say red HeikenAshi candle, obviously we all know that a HeikenAshi candle is comprised of a moving, it's a price which is based on the averages. It's not the real price. Like for instance, a HeikenAshi open is calculated as the previous HeikenAshi's high and low divided by 2. Every HeikenAshi candle starts at the middle of the previous candle. It's very clearly visible. Even in a normal cursory glance, you will see each and every candle starts at the middle of the previous candle. Now the HeikenAshi close price has a different rule. It says it is based on the previous normal candles open, high, low, close divided by 4. It's an average price of the previous normal candle. With that said, each and every HeikenAshi candle is based on averages. That is why it is able to give you a very smooth looking trend. In reality, price may be chopping around up and down. But the HeikenAshi candle kind of smoothens out the trend and tells you that everything is hunky dory. It's fine. You're safe in this trend. This is how people normally use the Ikenashi candle. And in your YouTube courses and all those things, people say you wait for 2 candles to form and then enter. Unfortunately, I cannot agree with that because after 2 candles are formed, you almost lost 50% of the trade. What are you going to use? What are you going to take profits out of the remaining part? It's not a very efficient way, in my opinion. The way I have devised this based on the Heikenashi rules which we follow, buy above the red Heikenashi candle, sell below the low of a green Heikenashi candle, is designed to ensure that you always get in at the right price. Not after the trend has finished 50% of its move. Now let's talk about indicators and stuff like that for a second. I'm not a believer in indicators. I hate them, but I do use them in some way or the other. I do use them, but not by applying it on the chart. So what I normally do is I like to have a blank chart with only the price and nothing else. And the indicators per se give you a signal a little bit later than your actual entry point, which you should have. Let us say RSI. RSI is one of the indicators which is pretty much used by most people as a king of indicators. I also used to use them. I'm not against RSI, but I'm only against the fact that RSI does not give me a signal in time. Like for instance, if I take this RSI as levels as 60 and 40 for defining my momentum. Right. I would say that based on the shaded area, I'm in upward momentum zone. That's all my RSI can tell me. Now let us look at another indicator which is used by people following this thing, Ikenashi. They swear by this indicator called stochastics. Once you know what these RSI and stochastics measure, you'll be surprised that you can calculate it yourself. You don't even need the indicator on your chart, right? And typically, the RSI calculation, if you Google it, talks about number of up moves versus number of down moves, and it creates a oscillator out of this. Now, if I can mentally count from a swing low to a swing high, how many points I have, like how many green candles I have vis-a-vis the red candles, I know that I'm pretty much overbought here, and the price has to react here. It's as simple as that. Whether it could lead to a reversal or not is a different question. But just count one red versus 4, 6, 7, let's say. So what you have is 7 green candles out of 8. So 7 divided by 8 is 0.87. Now wouldn't you consider this pretty much overbought and you need a price reaction here? It could be a reversal, it could be a pullback, it could be anything, but price will have to react. So this is what I meant when I said I kind of calculate my indicators mentally. Now, what does stochastics tell me? Stochastics tell me that for a period of 14 days, if I look at it, the last 14 candles vis-a-vis the current closing price of my candle, whether it is closing near the top or the bottom. That's all my stochastics is telling me. Just hang on a second, please. So you calculate 14 candles and see whether you're at the top of the 14 days range or 14 period range, or at the bottom or somewhere in between. This is how you measure your stochastics. You don't need an indicator to tell you that you are at the top of the range. After all, price is also telling you the same thing. And all these indicators are derived out of a price. And why are you using it as a crutch? Throw away your crutches and walk freely, no? That is my argument regarding indicators. Now let's come back to a very important observation of mine. Here I'm going to drag the chart a little bit down because my current price is here, right? I selected my horizontal line as my tool. If you want, you can change the color. Let's take blue. I invite you to try this for yourself when you have time to look at your charts. I'm going to close my eyes and click at random points in my chart. I'm not selecting anything. I can select any place and just click. Now each and every one of these random lines I've drawn has had an area where the price has reacted. Has it been an exact support here? How did my random line, which I drew with my eyes closed, become an exact support? How did price react at this resistance level and come down and then crash through it? How did the same resistance line become support again? I'm not debunking support, resistance, demand, supply. Demand and supply will ultimately move the price. But I'm telling you that any line you draw on your chart will be a resistance or a support. I could keep on doing this forever. I would find that every random line I draw with my eyes closed has had a price reaction at that level. So why is it so important for me to draw support and resistance lines? When the price goes there anyway, it will react. Why should I know that it reacted at a resistance level or a support level? I really don't care. Having said this, I'm a very firm believer that you need to buy at support and sell at resistance. So we will continue to draw our lines. We will not totally ignore these lines. But I would suggest that you don't even think about placing too much of importance on these lines. This becomes all the more important when you're trading a stock. Let's assume that this is a stock chart. Let's say ICICI Bank, because it closely mirrors the Bank Nifty movements. If I want to trade ICICI Bank tomorrow, all I need to do is to draw a line above and below and say, if the price comes down here, I will buy. If the price goes up here, I will sell. Would I be very wrong? Anyway, we will discuss this as we open up for discussions. But I would like to have everybody unmuted to just know whether they have understood the basic concepts of our HeikenAshi method. If I have to repeat it again, I'll repeat it.
Understood.
Unmute yourself, please.
So understood. The only thing is, in the last you said support and resistance. You say in the meaning that you will not take trade between support and resistance. Then you say support and resistance have a just line down like that. That was one confusing point to me at least.
Please come again.
Sir, in the meantime, first of all you said that you should take a trade when it is not in between support resistance. Either we are buying it, it should be near to the support.
Support, or if you're selling, it
It should
should
be
be at
resistance.
Support.
resistance. Yes.
But the only thing is, but you say draw any horizontal line, then will become a support and resistance.
Correct.
So means that is only one thing is confusing.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing at first, but when you realize that any point on your chart can be a support and resistance, I'm going to show you how I draw my support and resistance levels, which will let's cover that also, and then we'll open up for questions, if you don't mind.
Right, sir, right.
Okay. Now, since we are intraday traders, at least I am, and I've never bothered to focus on a hold position kind of trade, for the simple reason it is capital inefficient. I'll explain why also. Let me just say that you accept as a fact that we are intraday traders. Now, in an intraday trade, price has the ability to move to the extent of what its average move is usually. If price moves, let us say by 200 points on an average, that is where we need to look at our support and resistance. We don't have to go 500 points away. So what I normally do is I switch over to a 1 hour chart, because a 1 hour time frame, we have 6 1 hour time frames and another balance 15 minutes in a day, during which the price can move from X to Y. Now, if I know that Bank Nifty moves on an average
Sir,
around, yeah,
sorry to speak in between.
no problem.
When you take this 1 hour time frame, you keep the candle as normal candle or HeikenAshi?
I do both. I'll explain to you why I
Okay.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
There are two ways
Thank
of
you.
marking your support and resistance levels. Let me cover the HeikenAshi method first. Now, in a HeikenAshi chart, as long as you see a red candle forming, what do you expect? In a downtrend, you expect price to make lower lows, right? So where it stops making a lower low, it is obviously a point of support. So let us say I click a line here at this low, this candle, where it failed to make a lower low. Then I keep moving down. Price makes a lower low, etc. And so again, it stops making a lower low, instead makes a higher low. And here again, it does the same thing. Can you see what I've done? I marked a set of some support lines, which indicates where the price in the past has failed to make a lower low. I can keep marking these lines everywhere and do that. If I mark a line here, then I don't need to mark this next line, because this is a later recent time frame. So I keep going back and doing this. Now let's say I want to mark my resistance levels. In a uptrend, you want price to make higher highs, and where it forms a lower high, you mark that candle, say this is my resistance, because the next candle did not form a higher high. So you keep doing this wherever you can find it. Okay. Now, if you keep doing this and keep marking all your lines, supposing I'm trading for tomorrow, all these recent prices also become relevant. So I'll mark a line here. You have to be very careful though, like 32,594, 32,593. So it just happens that I got an accurate point, right? And you keep marking your lines this way. This becomes your support and resistance. Now, when I see a red candle not forming a lower low, I mark a line here. You keep on doing this. All right. Let's move back to the 15-minute chart and look at our normal candlesticks. What do we find? Do we find that we have a pretty accurate level of support and resistance? what we are basically doing is we are marking your swing highs and lows as taught by all the price action books. But we are using the help of the HeikenAshi candle to mark our very accurate levels. It's as simple as that. Okay. Where will I use it? Once I'm in the trade, I may use it to exit. And when I'm starting off my trade, I may decide to see whether I'm buying at the exact support or not. This is where I'll use this support and resistance lines. Now let's wipe out everything and look at the other method. Again, back to my 1 hour chart. Why do I do 1 hour chart? Because it reasonably depicts what could happen in the remaining part of the day. 6.5 hours of price action will tell me whether I want to buy or sell. And for the second method, what you do is you shift to a line chart. Sorry about this. And you start marking out levels above and below your current price, where a very sharp turn, or where it has acted both as support and resistance somewhere. Here it acted as support and here it acted as resistance. You keep marking such lines. Now, do I need to mark many lines on my chart? I believe we don't need to. Let's still see. So can I say that I have a support resistance line here, 33,000, where I can reasonably expect price to reach tomorrow? Maybe even 32,300 or 200, whatever is the thing. Do I have a support level at 32,500 today? Look at your option chain and see what happens. If you have a decent support level at 32,500, your support resistance line which you have marked for Bank Nifty should be valid, no? Let's also cross check that. What is my open interest at 32,500? It is 32,042 contracts with an addition of 15,721 contracts today. Would you consider this as a solid support level? Which is what you drew on your chart by accident, no? Now look at the next level, 32,300, 32,200 actually. Here you have 15,000 contracts open interest with 9,000 addition. Meaning the put writers are willing to defend these levels. Obviously, once it breaks, it has to go to 32,000 where your highest concentration of open interest is. With a massive addition of 17,000 contracts. Remember, you have to multiply it by the lot size to get the quantity. In the new NSE website, that's how you look at the actual quantity of trades happening. Now let's see, 33,000 happens to be my first resistance with 49,000 contracts, addition only 3,769. With the price being so bullish, is it a surprise that call writers are trying to move their positions to a different level? And your first level of resistance is at 33,000, which is what your thing says. Your next level of resistance is 40,000 open interest at 33,500. I have not gone to that level in my marking. But is this enough for your trading tomorrow? You would capture a pretty big move, no? If you make it a point to buy at support and sell at resistance, would you be very wrong in your trading? After all, this is what all your gurus explain and try to make you do, no? So there are, these are the two methods I use to mark support and resistance levels, but I don't mark them on the spot chart. I mark them on the option chart. Let us say that I have two levels here, Okay, 33,000 is my first level, and then second level is 33,500. Have you noticed how open interest concentration is always around round numbers levels, like 32,000, 31,500, etc.? Why does it happen that way? So let's mark a level at some maybe 32,000. No, not even 32,000. 32,500 first, and then move on to higher levels, 33 and 33,500. Now, if the price comes back to retrace up to 32,500, you would have a pretty good entry for a call option contract where you would get your call option at the cheapest possible price. This is what the HeikenAshi method tells you. It tells you that when the price retraces here, you will obviously have a set of red candles coming down to this level. And once the price reaches here, you wait for the break of that red candle and then you take your trade. This is a simplistic way of trading your HeikenAshi method. Why am I calling it simplistic? Because I don't really wait for the break of this red HeikenAshi candle. I look at my normal candlestick chart. When HeikenAshi candles are painting red, I look for a place where my previous candle high is broken, and that is where I enter my trade. So let me mark a line here and then see what happens when we switch over to the HeikenAshi candle. Does it coincide with this line? It is a coincidence actually, because HeikenAshi prices and your normal candle prices are not always the same. In this case, it happened to be the same. So you enter on the break of that price and you ride the trend all the way to the top. And top means what? To a next level of resistance, where you wait and see the price action and decide I'm going to get off the bus and look for a sell signal. Would you be very wrong in doing this? I don't believe so. Now it is question time.
Sir,
Hello? Sir, sir,
Yeah.
how about the HeikenAshi weeks, sir? They have to consider, or
You
there are
forget about VIX and all those things. When the high price is broken, you are entering a trade. Like I
okay.
explained,
So red
when
candle,
the high
if there
price
is
is
a week,
broken
the
here,
high price is broken, you have to take it.
it doesn't
Can
matter.
you convert it to HeikenAshi, sir, please?
Definitely, why not?
Okay.
See here, what happened was it broke the high, went up and then fell back down. Am I worried?
Yeah.
Normally, any trader would be
No.
worried, no? When you're trading, let's say, huge lots,
Yes.
you would have a little bit of concern, no? But I'm not worried because I know that from a established downtrend, the moment a green candle has started forming, or rather the price has broken the high of this previous candle, I know that buyers have started coming in at a level of support,
Okay.
right? Was this a support, a resistance which has turned into support, right? I know
Okay.
that at a key level, buyers have started coming in and there is all the chance of a price reversal.
Yeah.
Now, if I knew it for 100% sure, I would not even need to place a stop loss. But since I don't know it for 100% sure, I keep a stop loss below the low of this entry candle,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And all these things, which I'm showing you on a spot chart, we do on an option chart. Typically what I do is, let me put it into a multiple chart mode on Zerodha.
Yeah.
I have two charts side by side. Let's say 34,000 C and let's say 33,000 P, just for the heck of it and as an example. Now this is how my chart would look. When I start my day's trade, I would move on to a 15-minute and switch over to HeikenAshi display. This is how I look at my charts in the beginning. Now, if both the sides, you have both on call option and put option, you have a red candle forming. Obviously, it means the price is moving sideways and you're not supposed to enter a trade. You get a valid trade only when a high of a red HeikenAshi candle is broken. For the sake of trading options, if you are an option buyer, you are not concerned about a green HeikenAshi candle. You are only looking at a break of a red HeikenAshi candle to take your trade. So I get a signal in the call side at, let's say, 15 rupees 85 paisa, and the price moves up to what? 23 rupees. In terms of a profit percentage, how much is it? Of course, I've taken too far out of the money option. Let me take something like 33,500 CE only. I got a break of a Ikenashi red candle here. And this red candle happens to be at support, previous level of support. Now the momentum shifts to the buying side. So if I look at the normal candle, I take an entry on this candle high, 54 rupees, 54.5 or maybe 55. My stop loss is 47, 8-point stop loss. And my 55 rupees goes up to a high of 71 rupees, 85 rupees rather. More than 50% return today in a not very great scenario. It did have a good momentum, but due to other factors, the price did not go up much. But still, if you got more than 50% of your capital as profit, why would you say no? I'm talking about this as an intraday profit. And you do the same thing every day. Can you imagine that your account size will have to grow? I hope all of you are with me. When I see a red candle, I wait for an opportunity to buy. The buying opportunity comes when my previous candle high is broken. Here I did get a buy opportunity on this side, on the PE side. But ultimately what happened, it could not sustain because the upside momentum in Bank Nifty was strong today. So any contra trade which I would have taken would have been a normal pullback and not a reversal. So I lost money on this. How much did I lose? I entered at 615 and my stop loss was 554. This is the amount I would have lost on a 33,000 PE. So what you do is, basically you look at your HeikenAshi chart even on this spot chart. This will help you to prevent a bad trade.
Swaminathan sir,
Haji.
do you wait for the next candle to
I
close?
don't. As soon as I see a red candle, what I do is, I start placing my buy order above the high. Now if the high is not broken, I move my buy order to the next level, next candle high.
Okay.
I keep modifying the order so that at some point it gets triggered and I am in the trade.
And you put your resell at the lower part of the last
Of the
candle.
entry candle with a little bit of buffer.
5 to 10 rupees, 10 points,
No, I take a buffer of about 2 or 3 points.
2 or 3 points.
See,
And
the
if
key of the system is that your stop loss is so low, you
if
don't
the wick is
lose.
very long,
If the wick is very long, I don't take the trade.
you don't take
It's
the
all about RR. If your
Right.
risk and reward is not going to match, avoid the trade. Now, if I've taken a trade here, it would have hit my stop loss. Okay, I would have had a stop loss of about 8 rupees,
Right.
maybe 10 rupees. 10 rupees on Bank Nifty with a lot size of 25 rupees is nothing. I take that loss. Then I wait for my next opportunity. Whichever side I get the opportunity, I do trade.
Okay.
So I get my next opportunity here. And this trade was pretty much successful because it did not hit my stop loss. It went on going up, then came down. During this time, did I panic? I don't. Because my trade has two outcomes. Either it goes up and gives me profit, or it comes down and hits my stop loss. I really don't care either way. Stop loss is so small I can afford to take that hit.
Sir, do we need to wait the candle to be closed above that
No,
candle?
no. Please do not wait. Straight away place an order above the high of this candle even as it's forming. When the price action is very strong, the same candle may also go high. In which case you are right in taking the trade, no?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And yeah.
Sir, in the money or at the money?
I normally trade out of the money options. Okay. I decided I'm going to break all the myths about option buying. Number one is option buyers are not profitable at all. I'm saying it's all bull. Option buyers can make money provided they know what they are doing. And we are talking here about an intraday trade on options. Why do I take only intraday trades? Because of two reasons. One is if I hold the trade for the next day, I'm going to have the effect of theta decay. Premium decays as you keep holding your trade and it becomes closer to expiry. Every day you are going to lose money just by doing nothing. I don't like that scenario, number one. And number two is if I trade only intraday, the profit I make out of today's option trading, I will like to compound by adding it to my capital and trading a higher quantity tomorrow. You don't make wealth by just doing all the mundane things like taking 2% or 3% profits per day. Your wealth has to multiply manifold by using compounding. As someone said, compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. I like to compound my profit.
Super, sir.
The other part of how I build my wealth is I chose a broker who gives me a margin. Zerodha doesn't give you margin. Whereas I trade with a broker called Asta Trade. It is by no means a recommendation for the broker. I'm just telling you what I have used and what I have profited from. Right. This profit of 50% you made today on your trade becomes 150% for me because I trade 3 times what I would have traded. Are you able to get me?
The main thing,
my broker gives me 3 times margin on option buying for intraday.
Actually, your system is...
Yes, please continue.
Yeah, your system is helping not to wait for the closing of the candle.
Correct.
That is the main beneficial part.
See, the thing is, no, you need to enter a trade. I mean, if you wait for the closing of the candle, nothing bad is going to happen. Heaven and earth will not fall. But as you capture a change in the momentum and you enter the trade at the right time, your risk-reward ratio will be extremely favorable. Now, if you decide I'm going to wait for this closure of this candle and then enter only when this next candle breaks the high, you're obviously entering at, though you're entering at the right price, your stop loss is going to be much lower. Much
bigger one.
Bigger one, and you're going to get hit sooner or later. Is this my absolute best point to enter the trade? I would say this is the only point where my risk reward will be extremely favorable. Anywhere else, I'm just increasing my risk.
Sir, are you going to enter place a buy order at the height
I place a stop loss margin order.
Height of the borders, height of the border, height of the wick, sir.
No, height of the wick. High price is always the wick high, no?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I always place, when the high is taken out, that means a real change in momentum has happened.
Target, sir. Sir, are you going to take the trade at 10 o'clock? This one, the candle which you are showing, the previous candle, right? You mentioned
previous
that
candle high was not broken, no?
Correct, sir. So
I wait for the next candle high to break.
Okay, sir.
Remember, I'm looking at a normal candle here. The HeikenAshi is still red here. By this time, I take the trade, 10:15.
Okay, sir.
HeikenAshi is just a visual tool for timing your trade. That is not a godsend tool that you will only rely on that. You will always enter on the normal candle high break, which happens at 10:15 candle, broken by 10:30 candle, right? The next candle breaks the high of that. So when I have my pending order here, obviously when the price moves down and goes up again, it's going to trigger my order.
Sir, I have one basic very kiddish question is
Tell
when
me
the
now.
when the lower of the HeikenAshi candle, that is the wick, is not breaking the lower of the previous candle, that is the point we mark and we say, yes, this is the entry point we are going to have.
No. So no way. We are not going to look at the low of the HeikenAshi candle at all. We are only interested in the high of this HeikenAshi candle, or rather the high of the normal candle at that time. There's no question of waiting for the low of that candle to break and all those things.
No, actually then that we can mark the support and resistance using the normal candle itself. It gives us a very clear-cut line. When
Absolutely. What would you do if you mark your support and resistance? What is your next step? You wait for a price confirmation, no, that it has bounced from support. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So what is that price confirmation? Usually in a normal traditional price action, you look for a candlestick formation like hammer, bullish engulfing, 2-bar reversal.
Yeah.
Right?
Tweezers,
whatever.
Hammers, yeah.
Whatever. All those candlestick patterns you look at, no? The only pattern I look at is that HeikenAshi high has to be broken.
Okay, sir.
For me, it is just a visual tool. It tells me buy red candles are forming, be ready to get a buy opportunity.
Sir, may I ask you?
One second, let me complete this part.
Sir, when the green candles are forming, then you are looking for buying a P at the whenever you see the low of the green candle is broken.
Typically you would, but I would also look at the larger trend of Bank Nifty spot and see whether it is making a strong upward move or is it just choppy. If it is choppy, like if it is range bound, I would take a PE entry. If it is not range bound, if I see price action strength is very high, then your contra move is likely to be only a retracement and not a reversal.
Like today did it this way. So I was watching your technique, whatever I was told on Bank Nifty, it gave me a couple of good red candles, like it's shown in between. I thought of taking the trade and then I just retraced back my guys. Let me learn first and then come back and try to do it.
Sergi, this is not an exotic technique. Okay, it is not something in which I've greatly invented and patented. It is just a normal price action. We are buying at support.
Okay,
when do I know that I'm buying at support? When the series of red candles stops forming. That is where when the red is becoming green, I know that support. This price is a support.
Sir,
correct, no?
One question, whether you need to trial the profit or you have a defined profit of the next resistance or support.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't get your question. Can you be more clearer on this?
No, I'm asking whether you trial the profit or you wait for the next resistance line to appear. Till then you will just keep on holding it.
Typically what I do is I look at the trend on the larger time frame. Okay, just 1 second, let this go away. I typically look at a 1 hour or 2 hour trend time frame to look at my trend. And if here I don't see a trend change happening, I continue my trade. Sometimes I even look at a daily candle and say if daily candle is a strongly bullish momentum candle, why would I take a contra trade? I know that it's only likely to be a pullback. But this kind of candle forming, there's no way I would have taken a contra trade. Today PE was not in the option for me. I just buy my CA and wait. How long do I wait? It depends on your ability to digest what you've eaten. I like to eat more and more. So I wait till the end of the day. If you feel that 1:5 RR is good enough for you, take it. I don't have anything to say on that. I would strongly urge you to wait till the end of the day because though you may have a pullback, like yesterday it went all the way up and then came back. And that also is fine because your stop loss is going to protect you. Nothing bad is going to happen to you.
Sir, do you trail your stop loss?
I don't. I hate trailing my stop loss because I tried it. I found I was kicked out of the trade too early. Here I would have been kicked out, whereas the price went higher.
So
right?
what would be the target?
My targets will be based on my support and resistance lines, which I've just spoken about. Here I've just put pivot points. Okay, what I do is I sit and draw my lines based on my 1 hour chart.
Every day it is out of the money. Every day you trade out of the money.
Yes, I do. Reason is I don't like to buy options at a costly rate.
No, but you will draw your support and resistance lines on the option chart or the underlying?
On the option chart, because that is what is going to help me to exit my trade. No, underlying has no meaning for me. Once I am in the trade, I just look at the underlying to see whether my trend is intact or not. If my trend is intact,
that will not take into account the decay which occurs over the days.
There will be no decay which occurs during the day in an intraday trade. Please get it out of your head.
Not in the intraday, sir. What I'm saying is you mark it on a 1 hour.
Yes.
So you will mark your support and resistance over the last 1 week.
Maybe yes, 1 week or even sometimes 3 or 4 days is enough. Depends on your price action, no? How the price action is evolved.
Sir, how it is different?
But the point is, I would not like to say that you exit here or exit there. Please do your exits according to your comfort level. I'm pretty bad at exits. That is why I hold my trade till the end of the day, no matter what happens.
Sir, how it is different in stocks? How it is different in stocks?
It is not different in stocks.
Is always 15 minutes.
Voice not clear, please.
And always in 15 minutes.
Sorry, your voice is coming across as very garbage.
Sir, entry we have to take always in 15.
I like to take my entry in 15 minutes. You just see for yourself what happens in a 5-minute chart, no? Don't you get enough whipsaws here?
It's clear now, sir?
Yeah, now it's clear.
Sir, I just
now I moved on to a 5-minute chart. Okay, where I would have been whipsawed out of my trend. And then again I would have had to re-enter. A lot of places I would have got whipsawed out of my trend. I would actually suggest go for even higher than 15-minute chart. But you will get a slightly late entry. Suppose you use a 30-minute chart.
Sir, how far out of the money option you trade?
Okay, I'll give you those general rules which I follow. The general rules I follow are like immediately after the expiry day on Friday, option prices are pretty high. So I go as far as 1,500, 2,000 points out of the money. Simple reason is generally I've observed that Fridays are choppy days and you end up losing whatever trade you take. Your stop loss keeps getting hit.
Okay,
so it is better to lose lesser amount.
Okay, and then after on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Monday I move it to, see, as you get closer to expiry, you will also move your strike price closer to your ATM.
Noted.
So Monday it is like 1,000 points I take. Tuesday I make it 800 points.
Okay.
700 or 800. Then Wednesday I am strictly with 500 points.
Fine.
Why do I do that? Because if you look at the ATR on a daily chart, if you look at the ATR on a daily candle, you know that Bank Nifty moves somewhere around 900 or 950 points on an average.
Noted.
Okay. As of today, it was 930 points. So if you take a as you get closer to expiry, as you move your strike prices closer to ATM, you have all the chances of your strike price become ITM from OTM. That is where the delta increases and you start making accelerated profits.
Noted, sir. Thank you very much.
Right. And on expiry day, I have 2 sessions of trading. The morning session, I take 300 points away from ATM. And once it becomes ITM, I start looking at my profits and booking it. And after about 1:30 or 2, I do a ATM straddle. I buy C and P at the same strike price. I let the trade run till the end of the day. I really don't care what happens after that.
That is a zero or hero strategy.
It is not even zero or hero. Most likely it will be hero because the Bank Nifty will not stagnate for 2 hours at one point.
Noted.
Right.
Yeah.
If you try to do the same thing at, let's say, 2:30 or 3 o'clock, that is zero or hero, which incidentally I also like to trade, but I treat it purely as a gamble. I enter a trade at 3:15 in the evening.
Correct.
Sir, can you kindly explain the straddle part, please?
I'm sorry?
You said straddle.
The straddle is nothing but your buying. Huh?
You said you do straddle in the last 2 hours.
What I do is I wait till about 12:30 or 1.
Okay, sir.
Or maybe 1 to 1:30 I wait. Right? Let me get this out of the way again so that I can see the time. Around 1 o'clock, if I take a straddle, which is 32,500 CE and PE, by end of day, if my price is 32,700 or 800, my CE will be in profit, PE will be in loss. By 1 o'clock or 1:30, your option prices have anyway deteriorated and prices have come down.
You take a buy strategy.
Mr. Swami, 1 minute, please. While picking up that your straddle at about 1 or 1:30, invariably, what will be the combined premium which you have shelled out?
It would be less than 100 rupees, I think.
Because that is a very important thing for a trader to...
It is actually not important. You really don't care. Because the price could, your PE which you bought at 30 rupees could become 300.
But if it expires at the same price at which you took, then both will be
If for 1.5 hours or 2 hours after you take your trade, if the price doesn't move, only then it will expire at the same premium, no? Or even at a much decayed level.
Yeah, definitely 50% would be going if they are grinding at the same level.
It will not happen that way. You will see that most of your expiries, price either goes up or down. 2 hours it cannot stagnate. I'm sorry about that. It will definitely not
stagnate. In this case, you are saying 300 points ATM.
No, I am saying in the morning.
No, I mean at the 1 o'clock trade.
At the 1 o'clock trade, I only take exactly at the money. If a price is at 32,550, I will take the 32,500 CE and a PE.
Okay. But
either it can go up or it can come down. No?
I am very much surprised that the combined premium will be 100.
Sir, it will be definitely more than 100, sir.
Okay, so what? Yeah. So what?
Yeah.
Oh, what means I am incurring more risk, that's all.
I don't think you are incurring more risk for the simple reason that price has to move either up or down. And your ATM CE is actually in the money. It accelerates at a faster rate.
It's question of conjecture, not a price action.
No, it is actually not even a conjecture. It is actually price action. It is based on the delta of your option. The delta of your option becomes smaller and reduces for a PE if the price goes up. Whereas your delta increases at a faster rate as you become ITM. So how can you say it is a conjecture?
Anyway, you have removed the myth from my mind. I will very keenly and meticulously follow
please try experimenting with it. I would not want to just shove it down somebody's throat.
Of course. Right? Everyone has to test it out.
Yeah, naturally. Please do. But recognize when you're testing, right? All your past charts will look beautiful.
Definitely, sir.
When you're trading on the right edge of your chart, that is where your emotions will come into play.
Correct, correct.
Right?
Sir, we'd
Any
like to
practice
follow you
do.
on Telegram. Is there a link that you can share with us?
I think Dr. Kamal can share the link. Yes, definitely.
I have the link. I'm just putting up in there for everybody. I will request everybody. Usually, sir, I'm being very open on this thing. Is sometimes the noise is beyond even control.
But it's okay. We'll handle it.
Okay, sir.
We have a good team of admins. They will handle it.
That's great, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You will find that in our group, you have a lot of supportive people who have actually been trading this method, and they have been seeing the profits for the first time in their trading career. And all of them are eager to help out newcomers who have any doubts. When I say newcomers, I'm not talking about newcomers in the field of trading. All of you may be much more experienced. But you will see that people who have real experience of trading this method and profiting from it are extremely willing and eager to help out.
That's really nice, sir, because hand-holding is something that we all would want.
And what I do is generally when I feel bored in the evening, I call for a webinar and talk to all those people. I may not talk trading all the time. We talk many topics and mind management, psychology, all those things we talk. And sometimes it will be just general gossip. What is happening on Corona in your place, etc., etc. But you never know. You may find something valuable attending those webinars also. Whenever I'm not too tired, I do call for a webinar. I suddenly send a message in the group saying I'm feeling bored. Can we chat up?
Sir, I've just shared the link of the Telegram channel.
Thank you so much, sir. I definitely would welcome all of you to join the group and look for yourself. Obviously, yes, in a social media group, there are bound to be people who have different opinions. But we like to disagree on things without being disagreeable. And you will find that our people will have lots of respect shown to everybody. And there won't be any nasty incidents happening. One or two may happen in a group which is growing. It could be sometimes unavoidable. Yeah.
Around 23rd, at the end of the day, there are two green candles, sir.
Yes, correct.
Okay, the previous one, the last red candle on the high.
Correct. The high was broken.
We go for a buy call, sir.
You would go, but would you want to take a trade at that time?
No, sir, because it's the end of the day. So how about the next day, sir, then? Because after red candle, we have two green candles. So
you have a huge up move which you would have missed actually.
Yeah. Can we catch this move, sir?
No, sir.
Yeah, no problem, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Because you're catching a running bus which is moving towards the resistance.
Live.
Swami, sir.
Hanji.
Swami, sir, you talked about two methods, one 15 minutes and on a daily candle. So can you explain the daily candle method?
Daily candle method is not a HeikenAshi method.
Live meeting.
Okay. So what I do is I look at my daily candle. Okay. I look at whether I'm in an uptrend or downtrend. For me, actually, the past trend does not matter. What the price is doing today is what matters. So what I do is I mark a level. There are two ways I mark the levels. Both of them I'll explain. One is I look at the open price and mark a level at 0.5% above and below. If the price goes above 0.5% of the open price, then I enter a buy trade. I just buy a CE and forget about everything else. And if it falls below 0.5% of the open, I take a PE trade and just wait for the end of the day.
Sir, there is no move in the chart, sir.
Or it is just,
sir.
Sorry?
the price is
Opening after 5 minutes?
No, opening of the day's price, which you get at 9:08 after the pre-open market.
Okay,
right?
okay.
I calculate 0.5% above and below. I take it like a breakout trade. Normally, the HeikenAshi method, which you saw just now, is a pullback trading mechanism. You wait for the pullback to end and then trade. Whereas in this case, because I'm trading for the long haul, I wait for the entire day to end before I close my trade. So I look at it as a breakout mechanism. 0.5% is one way you can do it, or you can wait for a 15-minute candle range to break out.
It
First
is also
15-minute
option
breakout.
trading. It is also option trading.
Yes, everything is option trading when I'm talking about Bank Nifty.
Sir, for
Why do I like to do only option trades? You typically think about, let's say, stock trading. How much will you make on a day in a intraday situation? You deploy some X amount of capital, right? What is the profit percentage you make on a stock trade? 3%, no? 5% maximum if it's a top gainer stock. Can you make more than that?
Sir, can we trade on Nifty also with the same method?
You can trade any instrument where the price moves up and down. You have to have price movement.
Okay.
Let me show you. Let us look at Nifty. First, use Nifty.
Crude or gold right now, we can have a live thing from.
Just hang on. Nifty, are you okay with trading this Ikenashi method? Now let us look at USD INR for currency.
Can you please repeat for the HeikenAshi, as I was facing some technical glitch while joining, so I just.
Hello. So if you can put the crude chart.
Swaminathan sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Okay,
everybody was making so much of noise that I had to press the button mute also.
So if you could put the crude oil chart, we can have the live thing also, sir.
Let's do that now. Okay, you have a crude oil on a HeikenAshi method now. We are on HeikenAshi bars.
Yes, sir. It is too loud. I mean, not able
On
to.
sometimes yes, that is depending on the market. Know what it is doing.
Right, because here
Here also you would have taken a trade here and held on till here, no?
But sir, after that there is a choppy there is a sideways market.
Choppy markets. Please be clear. You're going to get screwed anyway. No way you're going to avoid it. You will have false trades. You will have false signals. You have to take your stop loss and just grin and bear it.
In crude, there is momentum after 12 every day.
Actually, it is from 6:30 to 7 o'clock. You get a huge move.
It's exactly 5:30 to 7:30. One huge spike will come. Today also around 50 points.
Look at silver, same thing. Natural gas.
I will request everybody to kindly keep their mics on mute.
Let's try doing it on crypto. You want to see that? Crypto, I have to move to trading view.
Sir, why you use Zerodha platform for your
Charting and technology is the best here. I have not found anybody to match their technology improvements.
Okay.
see how, let me remove all these indicators suggested to me by someone. I don't like indicators anyway. And let me remove the lines which I've drawn earlier. Can you see how clearly you would have entered here and made a huge profit? I use this for paper trading actually. On Saturdays and Sundays, I can't remain idle without looking at market movements. So I keep trading this. Obviously on paper trade, I don't trade it for real. And the best thing is you can use it on any time frame. Supposing you're a swing trader, you would still use the same principle. Let's look at swing trading on some stock or something.
So take C8 and Kolpal are close to their support levels, if I correctly remember.
I take care of that, and you want to do it on a daily time frame, right? For a swing trading, you would enter on a break of a high red candle, keep moving up as far as your trend will take you. Obviously, you will move your stop loss every day to the low of the previous candle. This is where you trail your stop loss. I'm not a swing trader myself. I hate trading stocks because I can't make much money using my capital. Typically in a stock trading scenario, even if you're a swing trader, how much do you expect to make? Assuming you hold the trade for a full month.
Swami sir,
Haji.
How much capital is good enough for Bank Nifty options?
10,000 is excellent for your one lot.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
My money management rule is that for every 10,000 of your capital, you increase one lot. Keeps you on the safe side, even assuming you have to take a couple of losses. Next day you have money to trade with, which will recover more than your losses.
Experience in sideways markets?
Sideways markets, you're going to lose. Accept the loss. No problem. Losses are small, no? Stop loss is very small.
Sir, you put your stop loss or you keep the stop loss mentally?
No, I put it in the system. After my trade is triggered, immediate first thing I do is I put my stop loss value.
Right.
No question of mental stop loss. On my daily candle system, I don't keep a stop loss.
Swami sir, why did you put two charts, CE and PE? Do you trade both simultaneously?
Not simultaneously. Wherever I get my opportunity to enter first, I take that, no?
Okay.
So when I'm on a 15-minute chart, depending on the trend of the day, you may get an entry in the CE first, and then you may have to just ride that trend. When I'm in the CE trade, I don't look at my PE opportunities. Either my CE stop loss has to hit, or my profit target has to hit.
Sir, can we say that for exit, once you are already in the trade, reverse direction candle breaks, can we exit at that point of time?
Yes, you can. I told you, no, I will not interfere in your exits. I will only encourage you to stay till the end of the trend. But even I cannot say which is the end of the trend, no. Market can do whatever it wants. How will I be able to say, your trend has ended, can you exit? No way, I'm not in the call providing business. I'm happy teaching the method because I want more people to benefit.
Sir, can you please repeat about the entry in 15-minute HeikenAshi?
Yeah, sure. You're already on a HeikenAshi here. Okay. What you do is you keep CE as well as PE on your radar, whatever is the strike price which you select, right? And wherever you get an opportunity for a buy, which is when the HeikenAshi is forming red candles, then you know that sooner or later you're going to get a buy entry. Why is that? Because price is moving towards support. Once it comes to support, either it can bounce or it can just breeze through support, right? I look for a bounce. The bounce happens when the momentum changes from a downtrend to an uptrend. I switch over to my regular candlestick mode. I keep looking at whether my high is broken of the previous candle's a normal candle's high. So at each stage, I'll make a SLM order. First, I place my SLM order here. If this high is not broken, I'll move it to the next one. The moment my high is broken, I get triggered into a trade. First trade, it hit my stop loss here. I wait for my next opportunity. But I still keep placing my orders based on my Bank Nifty spot trend. I also have this on 15
one
minutes.
question, sir.
Yes, sir.
सर जैसे आपने बताया कि हाई के ऊपर हम ट्रिगर करेंगे, अगर हाई के ऊपर प्राइस ट्रिगर हो गए, आप ट्रेड में आ गए और उसके बाद में वो वापस रेड में ही कैंडल क्लोज हुई Heikenashi की, तो should I remain in a trade or exit immediately?
You should exit. You should remain in the trade until your stop loss is not taken. You are not going to have any knee-jerk reactions.
Okay, okay.
Right? So because you never know. Because
before two candle exactly.
Anji?
Before two three candles exactly that situation happened, sir.
It could happen, but what is important is you recognize that a selling momentum has now become a buying momentum. How do you know that? When the previous candle's high is broken, it obviously means from a downward swing, buyers have started entering the picture. Whether they'll be successful or not is a different story. Right? If they're not successful, you'll have a stop loss hit. Okay. Then in that case, there will be an entry trigger on the other side, which may lead to a successful trade.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Now, if you don't want this kind of stop loss hits, move on to a higher time frame. Take 1 hour. You will get entry slightly late at a higher price, but it's okay. You will remain in a stable trend. That also is possible.
Sir,
one of the reasons I decided I will trade the daily candle method is that.
So the first trade you will take is only after 9:30, after the first 15-minute candle is formed.
Correct. What is the hurry?
Sir, so when we take the trade, we see the Bank Nifty spot chart or the options chart?
Your entry is always based on the option chart. Okay. Here you get a signal, you're going to enter the trade. Your Bank Nifty spot chart tells you whether you're taking a trade in the right direction or not. If the trend is up, your decision to take CE is right. If the trend is going to be down or choppy, then you know that you have to brace yourself for a stop loss hit. Simple.
Okay, okay.
Sir, you, in which time frame do you check the trend, sir? Is it 15 minutes or 1 hour, sir?
First, I start with 15 minutes because I made my entry here. I know that I'm trading in the right direction. Then I switch over to either the 1 hour or the day candle.
Okay, sir.
As long as I don't see any warning signals here, I remain with the trend.
Yeah. Okay.
Clear?
Sir, clear, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So before you take a trade, your frame of mind should be clear whether I'm going to trade on.
Sir, I'm trying to remove thinking from the equation, sir. There's no need to think. You get a signal, you trade. You'll be fine. Nothing bad can happen to you. What is the worst thing that will happen? One trade becomes wrong, your stop loss gets hit. So you lose 500 rupees on that trade. It's okay. Heaven and earth will not fall. You're going to make much more money when your trend is strong. And it gives you a huge upward move.
Max trades per day?
Max trades, typically in a day you get about 3 or 4 opportunities. Maybe 2 or 3 will hit stop loss, but the 4th one will give you a huge profit which wipes out all your losses and also gives you enough profit.
Sir, can you show those 3-4 entries you had taken today, sir?
Today I took only one entry. I told you that I trade on the daily time frame on my daily candle method. I entered in the morning and I held on to my trade till the evening. So there's nothing really to show from my side. But in our
And
group, you
sir,
have people who
stop
trade
loss,
intraday, and they will be able to show you a lot of entries and exits.
in case of daily, what stop loss you prefer to
I
set?
don't keep a stop loss. In an option scenario, you can only lose to the extent of the premium you paid, no?
Yes, yes.
Right. So I take that risk. Mostly it's not a risk. My only risk which I take in a daily candle scenario is when I have a choppy movement like yesterday or like this. It went up and then came down. It went down and came up, where I would have been on the wrong side of the trade. But this is a fact of life. I have to take that. But when I have solid green or red bodies, where the body is more than the wick, right? I tend to make typically maybe 1:5, 1:7. Not even one, I can't say 1:7. My capital goes by at least 5 times or 3 times or whatever.
Sir, can
Some
you
days I
explain
make
to me?
200%, some days I make 300%, some days I make much more.
Swaminathan sir,
That's great.
Sir, can you explain your daily entry once?
Daily entry is very simple. You take your opening price of the day, which is available for you at the pre-market close, right? When the pre-market session closes, you will have your bank nifty showing some price here. Like today,
yes, sir.
The opening price was 32,228. So you mark a line at 32,228. Sorry, let me select that horizontal tool. Then 32,228 was my opening price into 0.5% is 161 points plus 32228. This is my entry point for a CE trade. 32,389 when bank nifty crosses. I'll look for a CE entry and jump into that. And
0.5% of the future
opening price.
Of the
No
spot
future, only spot.
Spot opening.
Spot opening plus 0.5% is your buy level. Minus 0.5% is your sell level.
OTM option.
I take OTM. If you want to prefer ATM or close to ATM, you are free to choose that.
And what would be the stop loss, sir?
No stop loss for daily candle method.
Entry at any moment when this 0.5% out is there.
After the price moves up 0.5%, I expect that move to be trending in that direction. If
Maybe
you look
in
at
5
the
minutes,
HeikenAshi
10
candle,
minutes.
no, you just imagine that you're trading the 15-minute HeikenAshi method, right? Supposing we convert it into a daily HeikenAshi, what would you do? You would have entered a swing trade, no, at this level, at the break of this high. Right, wrong? At the break of this high, I would have entered into a swing trading scenario, like what I explained for swing trading on the stocks. So when I look at the HeikenAshi candle, what it does tell me is that my downward momentum all this time has stopped, and there is an upward momentum coming into the picture. So I trade the upward momentum. I just buy C and wait till the end of the day. What could go wrong? It could go wrong that this momentum again changes to the downside. So I'll incur a day of loss. I can't lose more than what I paid, no.
Since it's an OTM, FAR OTM, I think so you won't lose much also.
I won't lose much. That is the reason I take FAR OTM for my trades.
So normally you like to keep a premium of around about 100 odd rupees.
Less than that actually. I like 60-70 rupees range.
Okay, now sir, I have a one small question and a small request also. Do you have a live trading session or you have people who can help us out? Because many people will like to jump into this kind of strategy. Like Bank Nifty is a rough water which everybody wants to ride into or have a river rafting.
Sarji, what you will find in our group is the moment some CE or a PE trade is triggered, people will post their trades.
Okay.
Okay, nobody does a live trading session. I do it for a group of people who are under my private mentorship. Every day we sit and look at the live market. We read price action together.
Sir, how to be part of your private mentorship group?
Sir, that's a paid group, sir. I'm sorry.
Which is fine, sir. How to approach you for that?
Send me a direct message on Telegram.
Okay. Okay.
I don't promote my paid sessions basically because that is not my bread and butter.
Sir, in daily method, you enter the daily candle high.
Correct. Not high. I enter right at the open after it breaks my 0.5% threshold.
0.5% of earlier close.
No, for today's open.
Today's open.
Yeah, ji.
Sir, how do you identify a trend in the Bank Nifty?
Sir, when you're an intraday trader, you don't need to identify any trends. You need to only look at what price does after it opens. Right? Supposing you're trading the 15-minute method. After the price opened, it fell down and then it went up again. Right?
Right.
So what I do is I look for a HeikenAshi signal. Where is my HeikenAshi signal to buy? The first two candles are red. Any of these candles high being broken, I enter the trade. So I look at first candle, high was not broken. Second candle, high was broken. So I am into the trade. And I ride this trend.
Right. Right, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sir, what about Nifty and stocks, sir? Do you place the same 0.5% up or down for the day trading?
For the daily method, yes, you need to have that safety buffer because having entered a trade, you find that it's a choppy market that can destroy your profits, no? I love to see big trends where I have a big body and less of wicks. That is where momentum is there. In an options trading scenario, you need to have the momentum if you want to make profit. You need the direction to be right. You need momentum moves in your direction. Otherwise, you're not going to see money. But luckily, if you notice, some people did some back test and all. Like it was giving some 60, 67% or something like that as a big body days versus spinning tops and dojis, which I suppose is good enough and fair enough for our trading. If you want to absolutely be sure and avoid sideways days like this, then you go on the 15-minute ORB. If the 15-minute high is not broken, don't enter the trade. Here for you, it did break today. You still had a valid trade. You could have taken a thing. If you had taken close to ATM, you would have made a lot of money.
Actually, sir, yesterday I traded ATM option. And in matter of, I think so, half an hour, 45 minutes, I captured 100 points and then I became a little restless and I just cut the trade. I'm being very honest. I became because it was 478 I had entered. My stop loss, I didn't place a stop loss actually because Pradeep had told me that, sir, stop loss was chota hota hai, so don't place it. So it only went as low as 460 and then it started marching up. Once it started marching up, it was 536 first there. It traced to 516. What I got little panicky. I exited first. It
These
came
are
down
psychological
to
issues, no? Like you don't want to give back your profit, what you're already seeing on the screen.
Yeah. So then I re-entered at when it was coming at 500 rupees and then I took it till 578 full. And then I
We
took
have a
78
philosophy, sir. If your stop loss is small, don't even worry about it. Leave the trade to run till the end of the day. The worst thing that will happen is it will come back and bite you, no?
No, the worst thing was it was an ATM option. I never know it was an OTM option because I need to practice it. See, if you are bound to lose only 1,500 rupees or maybe 2,000 rupees, and if it goes your way, then you seldom lose if you know the trend direction.
Absolutely,
And if you picked up at the support.
Correct. You're right.
Sir, another question now. As an admin of the most of the groups, every member will be asking, when can we have a follow-up session with you? When you start getting bored, sir, we can bore you more, sir.
No, when I start getting bored, I'll anyway announce in my group. All of you are welcome to join. The more
Sir,
the merrier, I would say.
Sir,
I don't do it on Zoom because I don't have a premium subscription on Zoom.
Sir,
I do it on Google Meet.
No, sir, I have a premium subscription. It is a capacity of 500 odd people.
Okay.
Today also, I must congratulate it. The first time we have crossed 230 mark. Normally we stick around about 200. So it was 230. I think so. Your popularity speaks.
Sir, no popularity and all, sir. If people want to learn, I'm there.
Sir, I will be the person who will be troubling you the most, because whenever I'm in little doubt, I get kind of a mental block. I'm a very avid trader. Though these days COVID has made all urologists like me villa bandas. So everybody, I can see lot of urologists sitting in the classroom. I can read their names. I know them personally also.
Okay.
So they will be very interested in learning. So we would like to have a follow-up session with you also.
Yeah, sure, sir. Absolutely no problem. As I
if
said,
possible, one live session, sir.
Haji?
If possible, one live session.
Live only it'll be. Every day I make an announcement in my group. I'm feeling bored, join me for a chat. We discuss about trading, we discuss about today's mistakes.
We'll be looking forward to join you in live trading.
Yeah. Live trading, no, sorry. My live sessions will be on the days the trades we took, what mistakes we made, how to correct them. There'll be a lot of doubts as you go along, and we try to address those doubts.
Sir, the actually part, I was following the group today, and when I got a little busy in the OPD hours, I just saw the result. There were too much discussion about the few of the stocks like L&T, HDFC Bank. There were a lot of discussion which was going on. And from there, I got this idea of getting into and talking to you. And that's how also I messaged you and requested you for this class. I'm very thankful that you agreed at the first instance itself.
Let me be honest, I have a personal agenda in this. My personal agenda is not to just get you into my group and convert you into my paid trading sessions and all. My agenda is, we all heard about turtle traders.
Yes, sir.
I want to create a group of Indian traders who are consistently profitable. I don't care if they don't pay me, it's fine. But I want them to learn this method and start trading it and experience the profits for themselves.
Count me in, sir. Count me in.
It's a very well thought, sir. Thank you so much for this.
Because I've gone through these struggles and lack of mentorship and all. And there are times you feel so lonely as a trader. Nobody to help you. Nobody is willing to share their thoughts with you. So you have to find your own way by clearing the jungle, basically.
This is what we have been looking at. I have some good trading friends like Pankaj Bhai and Nilesh Bhai. Both they trade along with me, and we have been trading long for now, almost now a couple of months. We do share. Today morning, I'm known for a couple of stocks that I always say keep an eye on them, and one of them gave around 40 odd rupees, even plus. So, but we keep on discussing. That is how we filter out stocks, and we are able to take more profitable stocks.
Can I suggest something? Don't filter out stocks.
Sir, I'm not a bank nifty option.
No, even if you're a stock trader, I say don't filter out stocks. You're missing out so many good stocks by filtering out.
So there are a couple of stocks which have given me a huge profit throughout my last trading.
I don't know how.
So what would be your strategy if you say we don't have to pick stocks? Like how do we select stocks in that case?
Okay, I'll tell you how. Number one, any stock which has a price movement you can trade. If you strictly follow, let's say, the 15-minute HeikenAshi method, what you need is a stock which moves. If there's no movement in the stock, obviously you would not want to trade it. That is one aspect. The second thing is, you don't need to go through a lot of mental gymnastics to pick your stocks. All you need to do is look at your top gainers or go to the indices watch in NSE. Look at the sectoral indices. And take the ones doing best. In the morning, if you had looked at metal,
Sir, your voice is breaking. Sorry, could you repeat that again?
let this load. I say that you go to the sectoral indices in the index watch section of Nifty, NSE. Look at the top performer. Okay, if you're looking at upside move, your PSU banks and metal were performing well today. Now you look at this around 945 and you take any of the top 3 stocks. They are bound to become top gainers of the day. Shall we cross check? Let's go to top gainers and losers. Do you have Hindalco here?
Tata Steel moved in the later part of the day.
You have Tata Steel, yes, Jindal Steel, JSW Steel, all these things gave you a movement. There was enough indication that all these guys are going to become top gainers. 945, you look at.
Yes, sir.
945, you look at it. Yes, maybe you get a late entry, it's fine. You enter on a pullback based on this 15-minute HeikenAshi method. Wait for the pullback. Trade on the break of the high of the red candle. You really can't go wrong. Now, if you're a stock option trader, this is a fantastic method to identify good stocks which you can trade. Let's see what happened to Hindalco today. Hindalco was a top gainer. No, a lot of people were crying for missing it out. So you had a huge move in the morning. There was no pullback, so you wouldn't have entered this trade. Let us look at JSW Steel. What you're looking for is something which moved up and then gave you a pullback and then you got an entry. Now, typically what I do is in stock options, I look at the opening price or at price at 945. Okay. Now at 945, my price was somewhere around 667, 664. Okay. Now what I typically do is I look at a strike price which is at least 3 to 5% away. I like trading OTM options. That is the reason I do that. And during the day, if my OTM becomes ITM, I'm golden. I made my jackpot. So let us look at what is the price we saw again? 664. So let's pull up our calculator and start calculating. 664 into 1.03, 3% away is 685. Let us look at JSW Steel, 680 C. All right. Now the best part is, since it is there in the top gainers list, right? At some point of time during the day, it has come into the top gainers list. You're going to look at this and take an entry based on the HeikenAshi candle. I got an entry here, it hit my stop loss. Then I waited for one more entry and I got an entry here at this level. This is, ouch. This is at what time? 1 o'clock. So go back to my normal candle. My 1 o'clock price was like this one. I entered this trade at 3.6. Do you think I could exit at 6? For a lot size of 2,700. I would have made 2,000 bucks cool on this trade. I mean 2,700 2 rupees. All for what? About 1 hour or 1.5 hours of trading. And that too for a capital of how much? I entered this trade at, this was at what price? Sorry about this. 3.6, maybe 3.75. My capital requirement was 10,125. Now let's look at 2 rupees profit on 2,700, 5,400 bucks on an investment of 10,000.
Sir, can you explain the entry again? Sorry, I couldn't get your.
The entry is based on our regular HeikenAshi method.
Right.
We go to display and select HeikenAshi. You keep watching the chart. You watched it at 9:40.
That's one, sir. What is the 3% rule that I could not get?
Oh, that one. See, typically any top gainer stock generally moves around 3%. Unless it became a top gainer towards the end of the day. It moves between 3 to 5%. The reason I take 3% is I like to trade OTM option, which is cheaper. As I become closer to ATM, my option price is going to be higher. So I don't like trading that. I don't like putting too much of my capital in my market. I like to be very cheap on this. So with a 10,000 rupee investment, I start my trade. It could vary with stocks, obviously. Like if I were to trade Hindalco, it would probably take a higher rate. But by and large, what I do is I calculate, because we are looking at a top gainer and not loser. One of our decisions is easy, no? Whether to buy CE or PE, we already got that decision. So I'm only going to buy CE. Having decided what strike price of CE I wanted to trade. To decide that, I need to take the price at 664 and add 0.3% to it, or 3% to it. So I am multiplying it by 1.03. Comes to 683. So I took a 680 strike price. I could have taken 690. It doesn't matter really. The more out of the money I go, the cheaper it becomes. And simply because I'm capturing a momentum move at the right spot, my option has to definitely go up in value. It cannot do otherwise.
But sir, this today's top gainer GSW still you came to know at the end of the day, right?
Correct. I came to know at 1 o'clock. I got my entry here.
So you will keep on.
I'll keep on watching this. The easier way is to look at your sectoral indices and look at some stock in the sector which is performing well.
Okay.
Obviously, metal did well. That's why you got JSW Steel in the list.
Metal actually did well at the latter part of the day. So in the morning you don't.
No, in the morning you had Hindalco flying away. No.
Okay. Okay.
Then Tata Steel followed. Vedanta followed.
Right.
They all started post lunch sessions. I was just watching them. They were just from turtle they had turned into rabbits, and they were just running. This work actually comes into play. A single person cannot look into all these things.
Beauty of this is like the beauty of this is you know that Nifty is going up. You look at which sector is pushing up Nifty. That's all you're doing, no? You would have been very successful in any of the things.
Like see, Reliance did.
Ajay?
Okay, sir, you please complete, sir.
So what I'm saying is the best way of looking at which stocks are likely to hit the top gainer list is to look at the sectoral indices and select stocks based on that.
At what time we need to say this, sir? At what time?
Around 9:45 I look at it. Okay. See, typically what happens is if you keep on refreshing this list every 10 minutes, you will find certain stocks which are consistently appearing in the top gainer list up to 9:45. These are stocks which are moving ahead with high momentum. Now, is there any other way of doing it? Yes, you have. You can create your own charting scanner. I do have some charting scanner which has been created for identifying all these. See, I have two scanners called price near low and price near high. So I look at if the LTP is closer to the low, then I look at a sell side trade. Why do I do that? Because the momentum is strong to the downside. The second aspect is where the LTP is closer to the high. How close? I look at 0.5% as my criteria. If you see here, I say 1.005. Right? If the price is below 0.5% of the closing price, I like to say that this momentum is continuing to the downside. So I had a downward momentum on these stocks. HDFC Life would have given you a jackpot. Now on the upside, you have, I say 0.995. That means it is just 0.5% away from the high. What is the probability it will break the high than the low? Much high, no? Much higher, no? So I look at this and place my trade above the high of the its price. So I had a huge amount of top gainers. My Vedanta would have figured in the list very quickly. Then after that, you had Reliance Industries coming in and all these guys started joining up. The beauty about this scanner is like you refresh this every 5 minutes, you will get a new stock. And since these are moving with high momentum, you will be able to take a trade and quickly exit with some 0.5% or 1% profit. Nowadays, I don't use these scanners. I just keep it in my account, just like that. And for people who want to swing trade using the HeikenAshi method, I have got two scanners. And for people who are doing daily 15-minute candle method, again I have scanners. If you want to trade stocks, you can use these things. All these have been shared in our group.
So can you share it in the chat box so that everybody can benefit from it, sir?
It is there in my group actually, in my pinned messages. There is one gentleman who keeps updating it.
Okay, sir.
So every one of my videos right from the beginning is there, and every one of my scanners is there. Plus some people have made simple rules about how to trade these things. So even those rules you will find. A lot of people have contributed to simplifying the method as much as possible. So as far as stock option trading is concerned, this is an excellent method. You will get at least 50% return. Instead of trading for a 5% return, why don't you trade for a higher return? After SEBI's rules about margins, I moved away from stock trading. But I do have some other things like, sorry, I closed my charting scanner. I'd like to show you something else. What is the maximum margin SEBI has prescribed that brokers can give?
Swami sir, your voice is very low.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll shout. What is the maximum margin a broker can give nowadays for intraday trades?
I don't think 2x. 2x.
2x.
Now, if I show you a way, you can trade certain stocks with 10% margin. Would you be interested? 8 to 10% margin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move on then. What I've done is I've identified certain stocks. This is an ongoing process. It's not by any means the end of my research. Like Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Can I show you how much margin Zerodha requires for you to trade one share? 2 rupees 87 paisa for a stock price at 27 rupees. You want to trade 10,000, your margin is only 28,000 instead of 2,70,000. Would you be interested in trading this? Even for a 50 paisa move? Look at Schneider Electric. 11 rupees is the margin required for a stock priced at 92 rupees. 8 times margin. $11,000, and these are not stocks which don't move at all. They move 3-4 rupees per day. Let me show you that also. So sorry. See this move, 89.93. $11,000 rupee capital will give you 3,000 rupees at least as profit. which is 30% even in today's market. Now, how did I identify the stocks? I did some elbow grease of this. I took a simple scanner. Any scanner which allows you to find a trend is fine with you. Select the cash segment, run the scan, and sort the price from low to high. Typically, all these low price stocks, of course, you will obviously put a price filter also. Let us put a filter of latest close greater than 50. So we don't have penny stocks in our list. So I have a huge number of stocks in my scanner, which tells me that these are all low price stocks where I could put it in my watch list and keep on testing what is the margin Zerodha needs for each of these tests. The moment I find a stock which requires 8 times or 10 times Zerodha is giving margin, then I put it in my watch list. And I also like to look at volumes because I've kept a volume filter of 3 lakhs. I don't want trash to enter my scanner. So supposing I just say this is built for a downward move. Let me take stocks which are just higher than 5 EMA, 5 SMA. So I have about 329 stocks to choose from. So I keep going through this list, and wherever I find some diamond in the rough, I add it to my watch list. So Philips Carbon Black also gives you a decent movement per day. You can just see by the size of the candles, you know that it's not a stock which is operator driven or something like that. So what you do is you look at your 15-minute chart and see that there are no blank spaces in between. You need to have continuous trading happening. Those stocks are generally good to trade.
These are not F&O stocks. So how do you do in cash?
That segment, what prevents you when there's no margin from a broker? You choose any stock now. You have to have your filters regarding volumes. You have to see the chart for yourself to filter out the bad stocks. Generally, I found that these are not bad stocks. You have every 15 minutes some trade happening. Look at Power Finance Corporation, NMDC, everything. You see this day's candle, it has had a move of 5 rupees for 150 bucks for stock, which is 3% movement. Why would you not want to trade this? Are you able to get my point here?
Yes, sir.
It actually becomes a future and option stock for us because the margin required is too low for us, though it's not on the list. If it gives us a moment, then you just make up a profit and come out of it.
Exactly, that's it. I mean, 3,000 bucks profit for a...
Swami sir, your voice again is very low.
3,000 rupees profit for a 10,000 rupee capital is not a bad deal, even in today's scenario. This is the only way I can make myself look at a stock trading. So I don't have my Zerodha account funded at all. If I want to trade something, I will just add some 5,000 rupees and trade with that. Now I'm no longer interested in trading these stocks, but I'm just pointing out that this is a hidden feature which Zerodha has not bothered to plug. Schneider Electric is a fantastic stock. You can keep on making money out of this. Look at Bharat Electronics. JSW Energy. If you trade the 15-minute HeikenAshi method, you're definitely going to make money out of this. Why trade for 3% and 5% returns? It's not efficient use of your capital, no?
No, I think so. You are going to turn a lot of professionals into professional traders soon.
Professional greedy traders.
Very, very correct, sir.
I always say that out of your two emotions of fear and greed, if you're captured, if you've managed your fear, greed is nothing bad. You're supposed to be greedy.
Convert more cash players to the derivatives. Buying options.
Where Pankaj Bhai, I think so. The option for the teamwork will come into play. Or in their group, Swami sir's group, there is. In our groups, we have our own pros and cons, but this kind of teamwork is seldom seen there. They will keep on posting the chart, CEP, ye aa gaya, wo aa gaya, khreed lo, wo kar lo. And I think so. Yesterday there was one very comment is there was somebody who said, why you ended up in loss? And today the message was, I recovered the loss.
Yeah, that person actually has been trading only the 15-minute HeikenAshi method. And he doesn't listen to me when I say you switch over to daily, you will make much more money. But he has perfected that method so much, he has made it his own. And every day he takes at least about 5 or 6 trades. And after our Bank Nifty sessions is over, he moves on to commodities and makes money there also.
So you want us to get used to making money, and if we have to, we
I
just
would love to see all of you making money that way.
No, so it says that you put 10,000 in the account and you make it 10 lakhs in a matter of 6 months.
Maybe not 6 months. It could take a little bit longer because there could be days you will have losses. We can't get over that fact.
Yeah, that's a part and parcel of this thing is.
And I do have an Excel sheet which I make, and I trade based on my Excel sheet where I decide my position size based on my capital which I want to pump in. I don't trade huge capital. I first put in 25,000 bucks, and then I remove money from my account in cycles of maybe 5 or 10 days. And again, I'm back to trading with 25,000. It depends on your income goals actually. I mean, I'm pretty much okay with earning about 10,000, 15,000 a day. If somebody wants to make 1 lakh, 2 lakhs a day, he's obviously going to put in more capital.
Sir, again, voice is breaking.
Voice is not breaking. Voice is loud and clear. Please check at your end. Internet connection may be unstable. Thank you.
Yeah, it's clear.
See, you have to define your income goals and trade according to that. Plus, you also need to define your risk appetite. Right? If you're not comfortable taking a risk of, let's say, 10,000 or 20,000 on your account, trade a lower size. Build up your lot size slowly. No, what is a great hurry? Market is going to be there forever. And with the help of doctors like Kamalji, we'll be alive for a longer time also to enjoy that.
COVID lockdown is everybody will sharpen their stock market skills. I did sharpen it. I'm reasonably okay kind of a swing trader, which reasonable profits.
Mm-hmm.
And
what is the reasonable profit in swing trading?
Let's be very honest, 3 to 5%. I'm just thinking, if you add a zero behind it, that is where the things have started changing for me. Because 3 to 5, I will take a trade. I have few stocks which I remember their levels by heart. Even if I'm sleeping, if somebody asks me and wakes me up and asks me at what level Gujarat Gas will come and will take a support, so I will just pick it like this. Same as card. Like I have mastered a couple of stocks and I remember them by heart. And everything. So I do trade in sometimes big quantity, but seeing at these margin part, this I think so we need to explore also, because this also adds to your futures kind of a list. If you have stock which is not looked at too much by operators, and you can get a decent maybe couple of rupees entry in either side, I think so it gives you a huge amount of money. So I think so this was a very well spent time for all of us. Any questions?
Yes, sir, no question. It was a wonderful, I think one of the best class I have attended in last 5 years.
Yeah, it was the simplest thing. It was, I think so, one of the most simplest things which is being taught. It was like you have to make an effort not to understand it.
First thing is mental blockade for waiting for the third candle in Ikenashi. That is gone. That was the simplest part.
Yes. And actually trading has to be simple and boring. That only that means that you're making money.
No use of indicator.
Absolutely no indicator, sir. Though our people do talk about indicators and all those things. In fact, I told you, we mentally calculate the RSI.
Yeah.
Or the stochastics. So we know at which level price is going to be overbought or oversold. So we are just careful around those levels.
One question. Instead of watching regular candles, if we make a habit of watching, say, HeikenAshi candles, what's your experience? Will that be beneficial?
The only issue is HeikenAshi candle prices and regular candles prices are not always the same. It may happen that some cases it is the same. But simply because of the way HeikenAshi candle prices are derived using average prices.
Okay.
It will not always be the same. So you may end up taking a trade at maybe 20 points higher than you would have taken at normal candle level.
Lower price, yeah.
It does give you an advantage sometimes. If you want to be extremely safe.
Hello.
Yeah.
Swami sir, this is Asif.
Yeah, tell me, Asif.
Sir, actually, I would watch your video that where you explain from the beginning how to trade HeikenAshi candles. The first thing you said that you have to see whether the open price is trading below open price or above.
Correct.
So
that is to decide your initial bias for the trade.
Okay. So that means if the price is above the open price, we
should look for a CE opportunity.
Okay, then we should avoid any opposite side entry.
Not necessarily. It may happen that price pushes upward and then pulls back, no?
Right.
It is just to set an initial bias. I am no longer insisting on that.
Okay. So that means we can go either side.
There are many people who said, sir, why can't I trade both sides? Supposing there's a V-shaped reversal.
Right.
Morning it went up and afternoon it came down. Why should I trade only one side?
Okay.
I said, okay, don't look at the opening bias.
Okay. That means you should
Just
avoid
trade wherever you get the signal, no?
Okay. Clear now. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, where can we see your videos, sir?
Sir, in my group, in the pinned messages, you will have all my videos compiled as a PDF file by one of our admins.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And that will give you all my videos. I keep doing the sessions every day. So somebody enterprising keeps on recording it and putting it on YouTube.
Okay.
I don't have the patience to do all this.
I've shared the link of the Telegram group in the chat box. Everybody can use that link to join Dr. Swami sir's Telegram channel. So we will be seeing again, and we will be troubling Swami sir again for a session for a doubt clearing. And
sir, most of my sessions are doubt clearing sessions. If you see my past videos, the very first webinar was 2.5 hours or something, 2 hours and 12 minutes or something. After that, I did about 6 or 7 doubt clearing sessions. And in spite of that, if you still have a doubt, you're most welcome to direct message me or whatever.
Yep, sure. We will be trying to trouble you as much as possible.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please open the chart for Sun TV?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sir, 15-minute HeikenAshi.
No entry in the morning for you.
No, that was my question, sir.
No entry.
No entry, na sir. Okay,
Correct.
no problem.
What you do is, suppose you have a situation like this, you still want to enter the trade. Okay.
Sir, your voice is breaking. Can you repeat that?
Your voice is breaking, sir.
Yeah, I said if you still want to enter the trade, in spite of not getting a signal in HeikenAshi, go by a 15-minute ORB.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I have all the time in the world. I am usually awake till 2 o'clock doing this kind of webinars. So if you
I
guys
just
are not...
have, sorry, I just have one request. So like you mentioned, like all your previous webinars have been recorded and put on YouTube. Can we put this one as well on YouTube?
This, if it is recorded, why not?
Okay.
I'll ask Kamalji to send it to another of our group members who does this uploading.
Sure, sir.
He'll upload it.
It's recorded. And
We'll
we
do
will
that.
share the links. We will share the links. I believe.
That will be really grateful. Actually, I missed some part because of the technical glitch.
Okay. See, the thing is, I like to do this almost daily webinars because I don't want people to spend their time looking at 10 hours of video or 12 hours of video. What you could explain in 15 minutes, why should you watch videos of 10 hours? Of course, you're free to do it if you have the time. But I like to bring everybody up to speed so that the discussion in the group can be more productive. We talk more about clearing doubts and where is the entry level, how successful people are. Some people will get irritated. There'll be too many messages, thank you, Swami sir, and all those things. You just ignore it and move on. Not that I mind being thanked.
Sir, one some small question, sir. Sir,
Haji.
can you please demonstrate drawing support and resistance on one option price?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You choose the strike price, we'll do it. Or if what I have selected is okay too.
Sir,
When did we close
33,500.
Bank Nifty at?
3,500, sir. CE, sir.
33,500 CE I already have. Then we closed Bank Nifty at 32,700. So let us take 32,500 on the other side. We'll do it on both P and CE chart. Step 1, go to a 1 hour chart. Step 2, go to line candles, line charts. In a line chart, wherever there's a sharp turn, that is a significant point of price movement, right? And also, where a level has acted as a support or a resistance previously, or a support has turned into resistance, those levels will also be pretty good levels to watch out for. Is there something I can find? Let's take this place. This acted as a support here and a resistance here. Okay. So now you move on to a 15-minute chart and put it into normal candlestick mode. These are the lines you're going to trade with. If you're entered here, either you can take profit here, or if the price momentum is high, you can take next level or the next level, wherever it goes. That is the reason I mark these levels. Otherwise, I really don't care about support and resistance levels. And here you have a noisy chart, very noisy one. So you have a very obvious level of support here. Let me select the horizontal tool.
Sir, entry is on HeikenAshi candle, na? I got confused.
Okay, to satisfy you, let us do this also. HeikenAshi red, forming at support. Ideal place to enter your trade based on the normal candle at that time, which was the fourth candle of this candle, right? This high is broken, you're into the trade.
Sir, please repeat, sir. Please repeat the entry, sir, again. Sir. This is where I'm getting a little confused.
Okay.
Just mark the candle which you're showing on the.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. 1 second, I'll pull it up here. Price is falling down, right? And reaching towards support. Now, this is a HeikenAshi candle I'm looking at, which is, let me hide this floating controls. My 10-15 candle is where I would look for an entry on the normal chart. This is my 10-15 candle. This small hammer forming at support. It's a clear rejection of downward prices. Price has moved up and closed above the support. Once this high is broken, I will enter, which means I will enter this trade at 54 rupees 40 paisa. I may choose 55 rupees. I'm not very accurate on these things. So all I do is sit and wait for the price to do its thing. As long as it doesn't hit my stop loss, which is 47.25 or 47 rupees, I hold on to my trade. Price can either hit my stop loss or it can go up and reach my target. Even if it doesn't reach my target, it may stop in between also. It's okay. But price has to move from one level of support to another level of resistance. That is how your market structure is created. Price keeps moving up and down, and it keeps creating your demand and supply levels.
So you never predefined your target. You always wait for end of the day.
I like to wait till the end of the day because there are times, like about 5 or 6 expiries back, I took a PE trade at 30 rupees. Okay, I got on the PE at 30 rupees option. End of the day, it went up to 390 rupees. Why would I say no to that kind of profit?
Sir, one question.
Mm-hmm.
So the corresponding normal candle high, we have to place the SLM order.
Exactly.
Okay. So revert from HeikenAshi, go to the normal candle, and
Yes.
then the high of that, you place the SLM order.
Exactly.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Thank you.
So support and resistance marking is clear?
Yes, sir.
Any place where price takes a sharp V turn or U turn, wherever, you mark those lines. Those are pretty good levels for you to watch out for.
Sir, one question about the mindset that you have said recently that let the trade run till the end of the day. So I used to try likewise that, but sometimes back to back my profit was turning into the red. So means earlier profit was turning into the red. So later I was not able to consistent in that. So how I can be means how to prepare mindset.
Simple. It's very, very easy. Once you have entered and you've taken the low of this candle as a stop loss, your mindset problems are all gone. There are only two parts of the mindset problems. No, one is fear, and another is the other extreme, which is greed. As I said, greed is a good problem to have. Fear is what you need to conquer. And fear you conquer by placing your stop loss and saying, I am acceptable to any result which happens. Either it hits my target or it hits my stop loss, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it can happen that price goes all the way up. You don't book your profit and it comes back down. It's quite fine. Absolutely no problem. The loss you incur on that trade will be so small. The pain of having missed an opportunity to book your profit will be there. I can't drive that out of your mind. But it's okay is what I say. It's not the end of the world. Tomorrow you're going to be trading again. Tomorrow you may have a much better opportunity. The simple mindset you need to acquire is that any outcome of the trade is okay with me.
Sir, just for everybody's simple understanding is, if we are trading a bank nifty lot with just 7 to 8 rupees stop loss, I think so that is under 150 rupees.
Correct.
Be 150 to 175 odd rupees. I think so. Even if it comes and hits you, it should not bother you because what maximum?
If you take a strike price which is higher in premium, it may be 50 rupees or 75 rupees, which means you may lose $1,000 also.
Sir, the actual is, since we are dealing with an OTM option where once it turns into an ITM option, then is there. I think 125, 175 or maybe 500 odd rupees risk is worth taking.
Yes, definitely. This is how we look at it in our group, and we say this is perfectly fine. The problem happens when somebody tries to trade with us very less capital and probably he's not afford to take the loss. It could happen that some people do that.
For an option to turn into ITM, it has to go actually 1,000 points, on days like Friday, for example.
Not necessarily, no. I mean, if you are taking a deep OTM option, yes, it has to move 1,000 points. It will not happen. But you don't need it to become ITM also. As long as the price is moving in your direction and price is moving with a fair degree of momentum, you will end up making money out of that trade.
Right.
Right. What is the key factor is momentum. If momentum is not there, you're going to take loss. You have to accept it mentally. Today is a sideways day. There's no momentum. Momentum, price is going nowhere. Fine, take the loss.
Sir, one request, please.
Yes, please.
So, as my internet connection is very unstable today, so I want to know after this draw the support and resistance. Please tell the next steps from HeikenAshi and from to the
HeikenAshi, you have taken the entry.
After support and resistance, if I draw support and resistance, then what to do?
You're going to have your support and resistance drawn before your trading day begins.
Okay. This is an homework everybody has to do after the marketing hours.
Provided you want to exit at exact resistance. Okay.
Then?
No, I say I don't care. So I don't even mark these lines. I just enter my trade at the right place and I let the market do whatever it wants.
That's a fair bit of thing which anybody can follow, at least if it's regularly followed. I think so even with 80% success rate, the money is only coming in leaps and bounds.
Yes, definitely.
One question, sir. One question. Here, actually, I would see this as a luck factor that you got entry at 10:15, but sometimes it may happen that you get traded later part of the day. So, how do you see that? Do you need to also be mindful of the timing of the day, or it doesn't matter at all?
It doesn't matter. As soon as you get a signal, you enter. In Bank Nifty, even a 15-minute candle can go by 300 points or 400 points. Right? Why would you miss a trade just because you entered it at 2 o'clock? It's fine.
Okay, and you also need to look at the size of the candle. That's one more factor, right?
We're not saying anything different. We want all of you to buy at support and sell it visually that this is a good place to enter the trade. That's all. After that, put your stop loss, forget about the trade. And while you are in a CE trade, for instance, don't look at the PE side. Even if you get signals, you ignore it here.
Okay, Mr. Swami, finally one small extension of the question. See, somebody was asking about what you call drawing the support and resistance level for the option prices based on the 1 hour chart and the line chart or something. You were trying to help him understand.
Just now I've done this line chart.
Yeah. It is just an extension of this one. I'm just giving a small introduction to that question, my question. But now, you have marked, I think, if my eyesight is good, 52, 68 and 78 are the three numbers which I'm seeing.
Correct. 52 was your support.
Okay, fine. But as Dr. Kamal told, if I have done this, had I done this homework today, tomorrow, by virtue of the much celebrated theta and all that, this will not prevail. I'm afraid that whether this will hold water.
It will hold water for the simple reason you're not drawing the line because of, looking at tomorrow's prices or today's prices. You're looking at the past prices and drawing the line.
Yeah, past prices won't.
Past prices have always been acting as support or resistance, no?
But option prices, I'm afraid, because spot and future have some meaning in that. But here every day this by virtue of the volatility and all this theta, these values are susceptible for change and
I didn't get your name.
I am Bala.
He's Bala sir. He's
Bala.
Bala sir. He's a disciple of late President APJ Abdul Kalam.
Anyway, don't worry, Mr. Swami. Just on March 28th, we had a long conversation, which I have DM'd you. You can at leisure you can see this. Thank you.
Definitely.
Please say.
See, as far as the question about theta and all those things are concerned, price has to move either up or down, no matter what your theta is.
Right.
From current level, it has to either move up or down.
Okay.
What we are looking at is the probability of moving up by virtue of a change in momentum.
Okay.
Between yesterday and today, it might have lost value, no doubt. But still, it has to go somewhere, right?
For which price is the basis?
Yes.
Okay.
You're entering based on today's prices. At that moment when you take an entry, that is the price which will always prevail.
And for weekly bank nifty and nifty expiries, the past data might not be sufficient. In that case, how do we mark?
Whatever you have, you mark. If the price has not been there before, like if it makes a new high or a new low, switch over to pivot points. It will give you a reasonable estimate.
Okay.
Like, for instance, this P side may, let's do it. Let me put pivot points here. All right, I have a pivot level here which has been broken. I look at the next level. Now, if this is not my next level, it could be somewhere in between. Some other day's pivot level would also act as a resistance or support. So you look at it using the 1 hour chart. Sorry. You see here some levels formed.
Yeah.
If I don't have a past history of price and I need to know where it can go, it obviously cannot go below 0, right? So I will not take this minus 44 or minus 25 and all. So I mark up to the level which is positive.
Okay.
And this will not become 0 unless it's an expiry day.
Right.
Clear, no?
Yes.
I mean, support, resistance, pivot points, Fibonacci levels, all those things are perfectly valid. But I would prefer to draw my own lines because for the next day's trade, I need to exit at the right place. I'm not going to look at this only for entry. If I find that entry is happening near support, I'm happy. After entering the trade, I need to know where to exit. And I see the candlestick momentum and wait. Ideally here at this point, I would have been waiting for a hit up to this level. It didn't happen. So I try to exit as soon as I find this red candle happening. I'm still getting out with the profit. Maybe I would have liked to take 100% profit. I may exit with 60% profit. It's okay. As long as I end the day with a green MTM, I'm fine. That's what ensures that my account is growing every day, regardless of what percentage.
So what time do you like to exit? At 3:15, 3 o'clock, or maybe 3:30?
Sir, I normally trade intraday, no. So my broker will square off my trades by 3:20.
Okay.
And if I don't like to exit at that time, I convert it into a positional trade and hold on till 3:29.
And your entries always at support line, or there is?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is one rule I like to follow very strictly.
Sir, suppose the day starts with a green candle,
and green sit and do nothing. I just wait
till the red candle forms.
Correct. Only on the break of the red candle I need to buy because I'm an option buyer.
Okay, thank you.
If I'm a seller, I would like to sell below the low of the green candle. That's also perfectly okay. I would have made a big amount of money on this thing if I'd sold at the low of this candle here. A little bit of anxiety would have been there, but end of the day, I'm fine. I would have taken a cold profit even as a seller on intraday.
Kamal sir, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, Anish, it's very nice to see you so late. That means it must be have been one of the best sessions. Anish normally skips off very early.
He'll be far happy because Bank Nifty is there.
He's a prolific Bank Nifty trader. He's a prolific Bank Nifty trading.
Bank Nifty and Ikenashi are my favorite. So it has been a pleasure, sir.
It was my pleasure actually, and I have
Thank
to
you so much,
Dr. Kamal for this.
And I would definitely like to add and contribute to whatever I add in the group when I take part in the discussions. I use a lot of OI. I know it doesn't fit into your.
I don't even look at OI.
Yeah, but I do.
Again, I have a theory. I may be right or wrong. Demand and supply is what creates movement in the market, right? If there is demand, OI will be created, not before demand happens, right? So I say that it is not useful to look at OI, and OI data keeps changing every minute. I don't want to look at something which keeps changing every minute to take my trading decisions. I need some stable
No, I totally agree that you simplified things a lot, and thank you so much for a wonderful session.
My pleasure.
Kamal sir, thank you so much for organizing this, and we still have 115 members. We started off with 240, which is an excellent number, and shows the interest for everyone. Swaminathan sir, thank you again once from my end and from Kamal sir's end. Kamal sir, you can close this session with permission.
Okay, Swaminathan sir, I will be seeking your permission to close the session.
Yeah, please do, sir.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart and from all the members present in the house for a wonderful session. Soon I will be troubling you, and please don't mind the noises in the Telegram
There is no
group.
trouble at all. Absolutely no trouble. It's my pleasure.
Okay,
this is
sir.
what I do day in and day out.
That's great, sir. Let's all form a good turtle trader group of India.
Please do.
And God bless everybody. Let's have a profitable day tomorrow in Bank Nifty. Good night from Amritsar. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.